San Antonio, Texas is one of the most vibrant and welcoming cities in the United States. From its stunning views of the Texas Hill Country to its diverse culture and rich history, it's no wonder why people are flocking to this incredible city. For those looking for a place to settle down, San Antonio could be an attractive option. Downtown lofts with the modern amenities keep residents close to the action, while idyllic hillside homes overlooking the rolling hills of Texas deliver the wide open spaces Texas always promises. But is it the right place for you to call home, especially as it relates to cost of living? In today's video, we'll be breaking down this booming city's 2023 cost of living together. By the end, you'll have a clear idea of what it takes to thrive in this city financially and if San Antonio is a viable option for you and your family. First, an understanding of the standardized cost of living index is required to speak broadly about the cost of living in any city. The cost of living index helps compare living costs in different cities and regions. It takes into account several factors like housing, transportation, food, and entertainment, then assigns each area a score based on regional averages compared to national averages. The index is compiled from data gathered by the Council for Community and Economic Research that looks at more than 90 urban areas nationwide. This data includes information about taxes, healthcare costs, transportation expenses, utility costs, housing prices, and other factors to determine an accurate score. A score of 100 is the baseline that represents the average cost of living across the United States. A specific city will be assigned a higher value or lower than 100. Higher number represents costs higher than the national average, while numbers lower than 100 represent saving opportunities due to reduced costs of living. With the cost of living index as a reference point, you can, in theory, maximize your financial potential and create a lifestyle tailored to your goals or dreams. Knowing how different locations compare salary-wise allows employers and employees alike to make informed decisions about their careers and even move somewhere new with confidence that is in line with what they expect financially. Whether investing in real estate, moving cities, or planning for retirement, understanding the cost of living index is vital. So how does San Antonio stack up against the national and state averages? Well, quite well. Using the cost of living index, San Antonio scores at an 89.8 overall. On average, the state of Texas sits at 94.2. So not only is San Antonio cheaper overall than the rest of the nation, it is also cheaper within Texas. Now let's take a look at where the index places individual aspects of cost of living in San Antonio. Groceries in San Antonio score at 91.4, and Texas as a whole scores 93.7 respectively. Remember, 100 is the average, so 91.4 puts San Antonio below the national average. Healthcare also represents savings with a score of 95.7, whereas the state average sits at 100. Due to inflation and an uncertain economy, weekly grocery store spending has increased exponentially. Some areas of the country are finding it difficult to find eggs for less than $10 per dozen, while they're averaging less than $3 per dozen in Texas. Incremental savings might sound insignificant as a one-time expense, but over the course of a year, this can add up to a significant dollar amount. For eggs alone, if you purchase them at $7 per dozen somewhere else at a rate of 1 dozen per week, you'd spend $364 on eggs in a year. If you're spending $3 at the same purchase rate, you're spending $156. Over $200 a year in savings on a single grocery item. Depending on the size of your family, pre-existing health, and if you're covered through your employer or self-insured, healthcare costs can be a mixed bag, but are generally about 6% lower than the national average. Housing is the most significant opportunity to save against the national average. In the United States, the median home cost is around $290,000. In Texas, the price drops by nearly $50,000 to $243,000. But in San Antonio, that figure drops even further to $220,000. That's a savings of $70,000 off the national median home costs. That's obviously a great sign, cheaper housing. What about utility bills though? Utilities, including electricity, cooling, heating, water, and garbage, can run about $200 per 1,000 square feet of living space. And internet will tack on an additional $75 to $100 monthly. When it comes to affordability, job availability and income levels are of primary concern. San Antonio's unemployment rate is below the national average by 3%, and some behemoth companies call San Antonio home. The Southwest Research Institute, Whataburger, Valero, iHeartMedia, and the Air Force Credit Union all operate out of San Antonio, and the list could go on and on. The result is a diverse selection of industries within the city and ample job opportunities for qualified individuals. San Antonio is also known as the military city of the United States, and Joint Base San Antonio provides employment opportunities for civilians, active military, and even opportunity and resources for retired military members. The flip side, however, is when we look at getting to and from work, San Antonio ranks among cities with undesirable commute lengths at 26 minutes. However, suppose you're relocating from a city with worse commutes, like a coastal metropolis where one-way commutes can start at an hour. In that case, this might represent a significant opportunity for cost and time savings. Gas is more than 10% cheaper than the national average. So even if your commute is longer in San Antonio, your total transportation costs over the course of a year might be a net neutral or even come out ahead of your previous home. And if you're moving from the state like California, these gas prices will feel like rock bottom, nearly 60% cheaper than areas like Sacramento and San Francisco. Taxes are one of the last hurdles to consider though. Texas is very appealing on this front. With no state income tax obligations, this is a huge opportunity to pocket extra money each year, depending on where you're moving from. Property and sales tax still exists and can be higher than the national average to offset some of the losses on income tax, but is still largely beneficial to those who move to Texas. And the good news is that there are pretty significant property tax deductions being proposed at the moment. So can you see yourself and your family thriving in San Antonio? If you're ready to start your hunt for real estate, start with View Homes. We're selling homes in our Blue Ridge Ranch community where prices start below $270,000. And if you're looking for an unparalleled collection of homes featuring the most technologically advanced in-home offerings and ultimate modern living, consider the Thoughtful Home Collection in Skybrook, where prices start at $379,000. We've linked to these down in the description below. If you found today's video helpful, we'd really appreciate you letting us know by tapping that like button and subscribing to the channel. When subscribed, be sure to ring the bell to enable notifications so you're always the first to see our latest videos. Until next time, guys, happy house hunting. Hey guys, if you liked this video, maybe check out this one or this one.